Yeah. Snax on Sportz, man. I'm back with another one. You feel me? Yeah, I'm back with another one, man. And we finna talk about these. We finna talk about this Christmas Day game between the Golden State Warriors and the Memphis Grizzlies. And really, we finna talk about this Ja Morant in this non-talking or this talking too much ain't one nothing ass bitch. You know what I'm saying? So now these niggas done did all this talking, but ain't did no damn walking. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to walk it like you talk it, man. That's all I'm saying. You got to be able to walk it like you talk it. You know, and if you gonna talk that shit, you got to be able to back it up, bro. You know. And so last week, Ja Morant came out and, or it was revealed from a clip. A clip was revealed from an interview that he did with that bitch Malika Andrews, who we all know she don't like black men. You know what I'm saying? With that too much talking ass bitch Malika Andrews, he did a sit down interview with her, and a clip came out where she asked him when Ja Morant, when he looks across the landscape of the NBA, you know, what team does he see that, you know, is realistically standing in front of the way of the Memphis Grizzlies from getting to where they want to be, which is ultimately getting to and winning an NBA Finals. And his response was, the team that he's looking at is the Boston Celtics. Now, mind you, at the time when he said this, or at the time when the clip came out, so maybe they filmed the interview a week or two before, you know, and it came out last week. But the entirety of the interview was revealed and premiered yesterday on you know, NBA Christmas Day games and all that. So at the time when the clip came out, the Boston Celtics had lost like 5 or 6 games. You know what I'm saying? And had some bad losses. They lost twice in a week to one of the worst teams in the league, Orlando Magic. But their little losing streak or whatever was started off by us, the Golden State Warriors. They came into that game with everybody saying the Boston Celtics came into the game with against the Golden State Warriors, which was like 2 Saturdays ago. They came into that game as by far and away from how they've been playing and what everybody else say, that's the best team in the league. You know what I mean? As far as record wise, how they've been playing wise, and all that stuff like that. We know the Warriors is the champion, but that's how they came into that game. And the Warriors were not playing well. You know what I'm saying? But what the Warriors show is that when the money is all on the line and the chips is pushed to the middle of the table, and it's a game that matters, a big game, you know what I'm saying? They know how to show up. That game against the Boston Celtics was the best game that they played this entire year, and that's the best team in the league. So they say. To me, the Golden State Warriors is the best team in the league, but I understand, you know what I mean? What they proved is that is that they still can be that team whenever they are need and ready to be that team. I'm not saying that they losing all these games on purpose, but when it's time to be the Golden State Warriors, they know what they need to do and how they need to play. And so all the losses against other teams that they should have won and stuff like that, as long as what they've shown is, with that game against the Boston Celtics is, as long as the Golden State Warriors make the playoffs, which they will, and as long as they, avoid that play-in, so they're a top 6 seed, there's nothing to worry about. That I'm not guaranteeing they're going to win the championship. What I'm saying is there's nothing to worry about as far as long as we make the playoffs and we're a top 6 seed, it's going to be hard to beat the Golden State Warriors 4 out of 7 tries. It's just going to be hard. And whoever does it is going to have earned it. You know what I'm saying? And so they did the exact same thing against the Memphis Grizzlies. The Golden State Warriors just got blew out by the Brooklyn Nets last week, a few days ago. Matter of fact, the last game that they played before the Christmas Day game yesterday, they got blew out by the Brooklyn Nets. Okay? Now, mind you, we all know Steph ain't playing right now, and Andrew Wiggins ain't been playing either. So that's essentially their best 2 players on the team. You know what I mean? I know some people say, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, or, Jordan Poole. But you can make an argument that over the past year, Andrew Wiggins has been the second best player on the team. But I won't be mad if somebody say Jordan Poole or somebody still want to say Klay Thompson or Draymond Green. But Wiggins, in my opinion, has been overall the second best player. But I'll give a damn if Steph and Wiggs ain't playing. To get blown out by 40, damn near 50 points, ain't no team. I don't give a damn. That just shouldn't happen. The Golden State Warriors gave up 91 points in the first half. 91. That's the third most points that have ever been given up by a team in NBA history, dog. Like, it was just bad. The energy wasn't there. They just had no energy. They just, whatever. Come on against the Memphis Grizzlies. They look like a completely different team. So, and I think that's because, they're not really worried about the Brooklyn Nets. You don't gotta face them until you and them was to make the NBA Finals anyway. So they wasn't really like tripping off that game like that. I'm not giving them an excuse. I'm just saying you can tell that there's a difference between the games that they take a little bit more serious and the games that they don't. You know what I'm saying? And I know motherfuckers go, oh, well, you can't have it both ways. So all you saying is when they lose, they don't take the game serious. But when they win, they take it serious. That's not what I'm saying, but I can see how somebody would derive that I'm saying that from what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? But that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying the Warriors, man, have earned the right to get the benefit of the doubt, man. They won 4 championships, bro, since 2015. Like, they've earned the right for me to make excuses for them if they're not playing up to par. You know what I mean? It's December. It's December. They don't need to be playing up to par until about April, May. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the way it is. It's just the truth. So, but the game against the Memphis Grizzlies yesterday on Christmas Day just proves yet again that when they lock in and own in on a game and on an opponent, they still that team. They're still that team. So, now the thing about it is, what made it so funny and all that is because, like I said, John Morant had the interview with Malika Andrews, and he come out and basically said, she asked, and she asked him, who is he looking at? You know what I mean? As a potential threat or whatever. You know what I mean? That, a team or two or three that is could possibly be in their way from getting to and winning an NBA Finals. He said the Boston Celtics. Now, he did not directly say the Golden State Warriors. You know what I'm saying? And so when he said that, she asked him. She was like, "Nobody in the West? You ain't there's no team in the West that you're, and he said, he smiled and said, "Nah, yeah, I'm good in the West. Yeah, we all good. It's all to the good. Yeah, we ain't even tripping off the West." Now, bro, all that is a shot at the Golden State Warriors. That's all that is. He didn't directly say, we ain't worried about the Golden State Warriors. But that's when he says that, that's who he's trying to send that message to. You know what I'm saying? He ain't really sending that to the Phoenix Suns. He ain't really sending that to the Dallas Mavericks, Denver Nuggets, Portland Trail Blazers, New Orleans Pelicans, LA Clippers, LA Lakers. That's a subliminal shot to the Golden State Warriors. And it's for one because we in their head. The Memphis Grizzlies deep down are jealous of the Golden State Warriors. They want to be revered and looked at as the Golden State Warriors are looked at. They want that. You know what I'm saying? But they ain't won no championships. You got to win championships. You trying to skip steps. That's why they talking about dynasties last year and all that shit, and they ain't even been to the NBA damn finals. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't even been to the Western Conference Finals. But you talking about you a damn dynasty. So it's like that was a shot, and that was a shot at the Golden State Warriors because that's his and their insecurity showing. We in their head, and more so, what that was is because the reason he said that more so is because Draymond Green actually said this first a few weeks ago, a few Saturdays ago, against the Boston Celtics pregame. They doing the pregame interviews, and you know what I'm saying. They doing the they do the little pregame interviews while teams is warming up and shit. So they got Draymond over there, and they asked him basically the same question. You know what I'm saying? He was a little bit more respectful in his answer, but he essentially said the same thing. They asked him, who was he looking? Who, and he said the Celtics and the Bucks. He said the Celtics and the Bucks. He said we faced the Celtics last year in the NBA Finals. They the best team in the league right now. They the hottest team in the league right now. They got the best record. So we're looking at them, and also, we're looking at the Milwaukee Bucks. We could have easily played the Milwaukee Bucks in the finals last year. I said last year that the winner of that second round matchup between the Boston Celtics and the Milwaukee Bucks was going to go to the NBA Finals. That second round matchup was the Eastern Conference Finals. I said that last year, so I already knew that. So that's what Draymond Green is affirming as well, is that we could have easily played the Milwaukee Bucks. If they would have won that series, that's probably who we would have played. You know what I mean? And so once he said that, the question was asked, I believe, by Mike Greenberg, either Greeny or Michael Wilbon. But Jalen Rose and Stephen A. are there as well. So once he gave that answer, when the questions came back around for Stephen A. to ask another question, he doubled back to that. You know what I mean? Like, hold on. Draymond Green, we ain't finna get off that. You know what I mean? I just heard what you said about the Boston Celtics and the Milwaukee Bucks as being the teams that you looking at as teams that could probably prohibit you guys from, winning another championship. He said nobody in the West. And respectfully, Draymond Green said, listen, we understand what the Phoenix Suns are. We know what these other teams are, and we have a healthy level of fear of all of these teams. You know what I mean? In particular, the Phoenix Suns and the other top teams in the West. But his whole thing and his whole point is not to disrespect nobody, but I feel that he said, I feel that if we're relatively healthy or healthy for the most part, once it gets to the important time of the season, the playoffs, and we play up to our capabilities as the Golden State Warriors, there's no team in the West that can beat us. And it's nothing wrong with saying that and him feeling that way. You know what I'm saying? He was respectable about it. He wasn't, the way Ja Morant said it was a little bit more disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? And you could tell by the way he said it, he was talking about the Golden State Warriors. You know what I'm saying? So what I think happened is that once Draymond said that, Ja Morant heard that. You know what I'm saying? And he felt disrespected from Draymond Green, because Draymond Green didn't even mention Memphis. He didn't mention that. You know what I mean? Like, I think he felt like, oh, this nigga gonna say, you know what I mean? So Draymond said what he said. So he took it upon himself to kind of like find a subliminal way to throw a shot back. When Draymond wasn't really trying to throw a shot. If you take it like that, then you take it like that. But they won 4 championships. You know what I mean? He like, bro, if we play how we know we can play up to our capabilities, ain't nobody beating us. Ain't nobody stopping us from getting to the finals. You know what I'm saying? And I think Ja Morant heard that. And the first opportunity that he had to respond back or throw a shot back, he did that. And his first opportunity was the interview that he did with Malika Andrews. So that's all that was about. That's really what I felt like he got mad and upset and insecure off what Draymond said. And then, because basically all he did was say the same thing. He just was a little bit more disrespectful about it, and kind of, even though he didn't say the Warriors, to me it comes across as like, y'all know I'm talking about the Warriors. You know what I'm saying? As like teams we not worried about. You know what I mean? You know. And so my thing is, it's funny how these niggas do all this talking and talk about they ain't worried about this team and worried about that. You ain't, you good in the West, but you can't even beat the Golden State Warriors without their first and second best player. You just said that shit last week. And then the next week, you know what I mean, you get blew out by them. But they ain't even have their best player. Their best 2 players. So that shit's just funny to me, bro. It's kind of like one of them things. It's like, bro, like Shannon Sharp said. Shannon, they talked about this last week. You know what I mean? Because this, they talked about this last Friday, the last Thursday or Friday. It's like, bro, you niggas talk like y'all just annually is in the Western Conference Finals and NBA Finals every year. You never even made it there. You ain't even never even been there. With this group, I know they made it to the Western Conference Finals, years ago when they had the grit and grind era with, Mark Gasol and Zach Randolph and Conley and Tony Allen and all them boys. But that was the last time they made it, when they made it to Western Conference Finals, like Shannon Sharp said. Ja Morant, you was 13 years old. You wasn't even in high school yet, little bitch. You know what I'm saying? So it's like on one end, I know how Ja Morant is box office. Great player. I'm talking about, hey, Ja Morant is he that dude. But you ain't Steph Curry, brother. You ain't no damn Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying? And you still ascending and climbing. You know what I mean? He's a superstar, yeah. But it's levels to this, man. Steph is a mega star, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just one of the things to where it's like, and the crazy thing is like, bro, I'd be more worried about not worried, but I just use that word for lack of a better word to use. But I be more worried about the Warriors when they play these games against, the Indiana Pacers, the Orlando Magic, Charlotte Hornets, and the Portland Trailblazers, and all, because those are the games where they seem like they just go through the motions, man. But when they playing against, the Celtics and the Grizzlies and the Suns and the Bucks, and I'm not worried about it because I know they go. Now I know they just got blew out by the Bucks last week, but to me that was still one of them games to where, the Bucks was just too big for them. You know what I mean? But I know for a fact, I don't give a damn what nobody said. Let us get in a 7-game series with the Milwaukee Bucks. You're not finna bully us like that. That was one game. It's one game. The Golden State Warriors are going to be ready when it's time to be ready. And their wins against the Boston Celtics and the Memphis Grizzlies yesterday proves that. But Ja Morant, you stop talking so much, little bitch. You know what I'm saying? You talk like these niggas be, and then Dylan Brooks, before the game, you know what I mean? Talking about I want Steph, I want Klay Thompson. Give me Klay Thompson. I want Klay Thompson. Okay. You know what I mean? Going back and forth with it with Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole bust your little ass, boy. 17, dropped 17 on your motherfucking head in the first quarter, bitch. You know what I'm saying? That's the Jordan Poole I need to see. Jordan Poole been up and down this year. And he need to play like how he played last night all the time, especially in the absence of Steph Curry. But yeah, the energy, everything was there last night. We just wanted to show them niggas like we still them niggas on the block. We still the big homies on the block, my nigga. We still the champions. You know what I mean? Y'all not gonna come up in here and do us like that. And so this is a little budding rivalry. They say a rivalry ain't really a rivalry until both teams at least win a series or whatever the situation is. So under those rules, this ain't really a rivalry, but it is a rivalry. You know what I mean? Because when the Golden State Warriors was going back and forth with the Houston Rockets all those years, Houston never beat the Warriors, but they was calling it a rivalry. So if that was a rivalry, then this is a rivalry too. You know what I'm saying? I understand the thought of, okay, well, both teams on both sides haven't won. It's only one team is doing all the winning. Yeah, in a 7-game series, both teams are going to win games, but only one team is winning, the actual series. Now I understand the year before we won the championship, which was the year after the pandemic, and they had that 72-game season, and that was the first year of the play-in. That Memphis, they beat the Golden State Warriors in the play-in and sent them home. But that was one game. You know what I mean? I'm talking about a series. But if y'all want to go back to that and say that and use that, okay, whatever. But But I will say and agree that, like I said, I understand the thought of both teams having to have a win versus the other team, you know what I mean, in a playoff series before you can call it a rivalry. But I will go ahead on and call this a rivalry just because you got the champions versus one of the great young teams in the league. You know, a team that's up and coming. It's like they kind of up and coming, but they kind of like here now too. You know what I mean? They still up and come. It's like you always up and coming until you actually get to the mountaintop. But they not up and coming like the New Orleans Pelicans. You know what I'm saying? I think they like a year, maybe two ahead of the Pelicans as far as like, you know what I mean? Like Memphis is a bona fide, you know, contender. You know what I'm saying? The Pelicans are just now this year, you know what I mean? You know, coming off the momentum from last year, starting to be looked at as, okay, this is a team that can possibly make it to the Western Conference Finals and maybe come out the West. Memphis, they arrived last year. You know what I mean? Pelicans are arriving this year. So, yeah. So I would, you know, say that it's a rivalry. You know, you got both teams going back and forth, drawing with one another. Draymond Green, but we just putting these youngsters in their place, bro. That's all we doing. We just letting it be known, bro. Like we still the big homies on the block, my nigga. We might be getting a little older, might be slowing down a little bit as far as like, but we ain't slowing down as far as knowing how to win. Yeah, we starting not still know how to beat your young athletic ass. Period, point blank. Precision, bro. You know what I mean? Precision, bro. You know? And it's just one of those things, man. And so, yeah, nigga talked all that shit. My thing is like, bro, if you gonna say that, and then you know for a fact you got a game coming up against, you know, the Golden State Warriors, I would have thought, you know, he would have been a little bit more prepared. You know what I'm saying? Now, I understand that Ja Morant played a good game. You know what I'm saying? But if you're gonna talk like that, man, you got to make sure, hey, your whole team ready, everybody ready. You know what I'm saying? Because they letting you know, bro. All that talking ain't doing nothing, man. You gonna have to, hey, you got to prove it on the court, brother. You can talk all that shit you want, but we got the hardware. You know, we the ones got that good hardware, fam. You know, so let me see here. You know, talked all that shit and then got batted in the mouth and bopped on top of the head. You know what I mean? By the best in the West without Steph. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see what I did there with them rhymes? You can't even beat us without Steph Curry. You think you gonna beat us with him? Come on, man. You niggas ain't ready. You niggas ain't ready, man. I ain't even seen this.
Of last year's Western Conference semifinals, Grizzlies at Warriors. Golden State without Stephen Curry still get the 123-109 win. Ja Morant's 36 points was not enough to get the dub on the road. Here is Klay Thompson with a message to the Grizzlies after the game.
Man, they was talking about dynasty and all that. You can't talk dynasty when you haven't won before. I don't think people realize how hard that is, the commitment and sacrifice it takes. I mean, you got to sacrifice your body. And I thought that was premature talk, to even mention that word. but they bring the best out of us, and I think we do the same. And if you don't like them, you got to respect them because they're a threat.
All right, JJ, I know you've been pretty high on the Grizzlies. You like them to come out of the West. Was the loss to the Warriors yesterday concerning for you?
Yes, the loss was concerning. I'm not going to say I'm concerned long-term about the Grizzlies, but Perk, we got Ja Morant's comments earlier in the week that no one in the West worries him. It's your first Christmas Day game in franchise history. You're going against a team that beat you in the playoffs last year, a team that now we're seeing a little bit of a rivalry forming here. You're going against them without Steph Curry, without Andrew Wiggins. And look, outside of Ja Morant and some of the role players, they put up a dud. What I'm concerned about is this. For the Grizzlies to really be a championship contender, Desmond Bane has to be that second star. He hasn't played well. And granted, it's only been 2 games, but he hasn't played well since he got back from injury. And my other concern about this team, they need Dylan Brooks and Jaren Jackson Jr. to be on the court. And both these guys historically have had a hard time staying out of foul trouble, and we saw that again last night. Look, the Grizz are 11th in offense, 4th in defense in the NBA. Their offense is going to pick back up now that Bane is back. My concern isn't long term, but it was a little befuddling to watch them. I don't want to be too harsh, Perk, but to watch them get punked last night by the Warriors.
I mean, look, the Warriors gave them a spanking, and I'm talking about with a Louis Vuitton belt. If you don't like Louis Vuitton, maybe it was Gucci or Hermes. I don't give a damn which one. But they caught a spanking last night, and I understand that. But I'm not concerned. You know why? Because I don't believe that the Warriors are going to be there. The Warriors are the Memphis Grizzlies kryptonite. That's the only team that they have to be concerned about. Here's another thing. When I look at Jaren Jackson Jr., right, he's been playing phenomenal basketball.
He said, and see, this is what I'm saying. See, Kendrick Perkins, he's still mad at the fact that we bopped the motherfucking Celtics on top of the head of the NBA Finals. You know what I'm saying? Because, see, after game 1, they thought it was over. They thought it was done. After we lost game 1 in the NBA Finals, you know what I mean, and a pretty bad fourth quarter choke of a fashion. They thought it was done. You know what I mean? They was in the post game, talking shit, yakking it up. You know what I mean? This nigga came to First Take the next day in a motherfucking, what was it, a Santa Claus outfit or something, a jail outfit. Or something, because talking about we got the Warriors on lockdown or some shit, and then proceeded to lose 4 of the next 5 games. And then a few weeks ago, as the Warriors are up and down and playing well, but then struggling, but then playing well, and then struggling and hovering around 500 early in the season, might I add, this nigga talking about, he don't see the Warriors, and Jalen Rose too. I don't see the Warriors, getting out of their rut or being able to fix whatever, you know what I mean, and be able to be the formidable team that we expect for them to be, towards the end of the season when the playoffs start. I'm like, why would you say that? Why would you say that? You motherfuckers just be setting yourself up for failure, bro. I could see if the Warriors have done something this year to show that, like, they have totally, like, just fallen off the map. I understand they got some bad losses. I understand that they have lost to, a few bad teams, but they also got some good wins. You know what I'm saying? And they have not shown anything that says, now I understand, if other teams are playing better, other teams have a better record and stuff like that. So all you can go off of is how all the teams have been playing so far this year. But when you got a team like the Golden State Warriors, bro, who have won so much, over the past, 7, 8, 9 years, bro, you got to judge them the more and more closer that it starts to get, to the end of the regular season and the postseason. You know what I'm saying? You just do. Like I said, they've earned that right. You know what I mean? To sit up there and to sit up there and declare it to be over for the Warriors in December when they only it's like 50 something games, it's like 50 or so games left to play. And they only, even where they at right now, which is like either the 10th or 11th seed at 16 and 18, they only like 5 or 6 games out of the 1 seed. To say that is just, it's idiotic to me. You know what I mean? And you sound just like, you sound like a damn fool. Plumb dumb. Plumb motherfucking dumb. You know what I'm saying? You sound like a dumb, stupid, ignorant son of a bitch. You know what I'm saying? You just do, because like I said, if it was after the All-Star break, if it was like only 20 games or so, 15, 20 games left in the season, and we still, 4-5 games under 500 in the 11th seed, I could understand that talk more then. You know what I'm saying? But, bro, it's so early in the season still, my nigga. And these guys have won a lot. They had one of these stretches last year. After the great start, then they had a not so good, middle part of the season. You know what I mean? To where they look bad. At one point last year, in the year that they won a championship, they lost 5 games in a row. They had a 5-game losing streak at one point last year, and had lost like 8 of 9 or some shit. And ended up being the champions. So, like, bro, if that's what you wishing and hoping for, okay, just say that. But a team that, for one, just won a championship in June, won 4 championships out of the last 8 years, 4 championships in 6 tries. That's telling you, and like I said, there's the champions right now. That's telling you that they know how to win. So why would you count them out until they like? It's like the same thing with Tom Brady. Now the Bucks, they look bad. You know what I mean? Tom Brady's my favorite player, but they look bad. I'm counting them the fuck out. Yes, they're going to most likely win that division and get to the playoffs. And that's all I really want them to do, because I don't see them doing nothing. However, bro, this is still Tom Brady. And it's still sudden death in the NFL playoffs. So you can catch a team on a bad day and sneak a win. And this is Tom Brady, a man with 7 Super Bowl titles. I'll be a damn fool to count this man out. I'm not counting somebody like that out until they done. Yeah, it don't look good for the Bucks right now. They squeaked out a win against a bad team yesterday. Okay, they don't look like a good team, but they still found a way to win, and they still lead the division. I understand it's a bad division, but in a bad division, they still at the top, which is giving them the opportunity to play in the postseason. And once you get to the postseason, hey, anything can happen. This is Tom Brady we're talking about. So, like I said, if you're talking about a team that haven't won nothing, like I could see them talking about the Phoenix Suns like that. You know what I mean? Because they ain't never won nothing. So they ain't earned the benefit of the doubt. Like, you know what I'm saying? They got that championship pedigree. You know what I mean? I can't count them out until they ain't never won. You know what I mean? But a team that didn't won repeatedly over and over and over again, I just don't see how you with the like I said, with the circumstances being what they are, with it only being 30-something games that have been played. It's 50-something games left to play. They're eventually, the Warriors, they eventually gonna go on a once Steph get back, Wiggins get back. Okay, they and Iggy gonna end up playing. I'm not saying to expect a whole bunch from Iggy, but the Iggy is going to play. They are keeping. The thing is, this is going to be his last season, and he's not the type. He's an older player. He's older. He's not the type of player that can probably withstand the grit and grind of an 82 game season anymore. So he's going to continue to be out until like the second half of the season. Then they're going to start to ramp him up and have him ready for the playoffs. You know what I mean? So he can, make his 1 or 2 plays, a few strip balls, you know what I mean? A few, great passes, and you'd be out, be out there leading and teaching people on the court. You know what I mean? He's going to have a game or two, some plays where, you know what I'm saying? He's going to make an impact. So the Warriors are gearing up for the playoffs, bro. Like me and my neighbor was talking, and it kind of like basically what we agree is that basically, I'm not saying that, like I said, I'm not saying they're purposely trying to lose games and all that, but it's a bit of a rope-a-dope tactic that they're using right now. Man, listen, the Warriors know if they can make it to the end of the finish line, meaning the finish line, meaning the regular end of the regular season, relatively healthy, like they did last year. Okay, I know Steph missed the last 11, 12 games of the season last year, but he was healthy and ready by game 1 of the playoffs. If they can make it to game 1 of the playoffs of the postseason this year, once again, relatively healthy, they feel like they can and will win the championship again. And I don't disagree with that. You know what I'm saying? So Kendrick Perkins is just talking like this because he keep being wrong about the Golden State Warriors anyway. So, you know what I mean? That's why he talking about, I don't think that, they're going to be there in the end. Anyway, why wouldn't you think that? What have they shown you and lastly with that is because, like, bro, and this be the thing that gets me. And I understand sometimes it may be just fatigue from one team winning all the time. You know what I'm saying? But when they talk about all these teams that have the possibility of winning it, I understand, like I said, that you got to go off how the teams have played so far. You know what I mean? So you're giving your opinion, your assessment off of how teams have been playing so far this season. But it ain't like the Golden State Warriors have been at the absolute bottom of some games it looked like they're a bottom team. You know what I'm saying? But then the next game they look like the best team. And I believe that they're more the real Golden State Warriors are the team that is more of the best team in the NBA, which they play like against the Memphis Grizzlies yesterday and the Boston Celtics a few weeks ago versus being the worst team in the NBA, like they played against the Brooklyn Nets last week, But I say that to say, what team, when they talk about these teams, they Boston Celtics, okay, they was in the finals last year. Milwaukee Bucks, okay, they won a championship 2 years ago. Phoenix Suns, okay, they were in the finals 2 years ago. LA Clippers, okay, they have a player that when healthy is known for making long runs in the playoffs in Kawhi Leonard. All of these teams, they started to talk about the Pelicans now, and obviously the Grizzlies now, and with the way the Brooklyn Nets been playing the past couple weeks, they starting to get back up in motherfuckers' radar and all that type of shit. And they just omit the Warriors. Like I said, I understand that their record is they are 2 games below 500 right now. man, that shit can change within 4 or 5 games, bro. Like, so I'm not worried about that. You know what I mean? Yes, it's unusual for a defending champion this far into the next season to still be under 500 like this. But if you look at the season and what's happened with injuries and stuff like that, I mean, it's a reason for it. They ain't just fully healthy and just hella losing. I understand when Steph was there, it was some games that they was still losing, but you know, I still, you know, just feel like, you know, they doing a form of rope-a-dope, and they're going to be ready when need be towards the end of the season. You know what I'm saying? And but my point and what I'm trying to say right now is that when you mention all of these other teams, which one of these other teams, like the Warriors are the only team out of all of those teams that really have real championship metal, meaning their core players and coaches and all that, or the main coach, have all like won multiple championships in recent memory, in recent history. You know what I'm saying? And so I would think that would be the team that people, you know, should. And that's cool if you don't. I'm not. Hey, it's all good because it just make the story better when we win our 5th championship on you bitch ass niggas. But just logically thinking, you know what I'm saying, you would think that, you know, more fans and media, you know, would that who don't have really no dog in the fight would lean more towards a team that has shown that they got the pedigree and the know-how to win, versus these other teams. It's just like 1 year they good, and then the next year they not. This year they good, and next year they not. You know, so, but you know, like I can understand, like you know, when you omit the Warriors from that conversation of teams that you feel like can win a championship this year, you know what I mean? Like, and put all of those other teams ahead of them. The reason why I can't agree with that. I don't agree with that is because, you know, like I said, like what I just explained, they the ones that got the championship medal. So how could you know what I mean? You know, and then, you know, basically, you know, what you're saying is that, like if there was another team that was like, just like, what other team is out there in the league that's just so unbeatable that the Warriors just absolutely couldn't beat in a 7-game series? You know what I'm saying? Especially if we just looking at the West. What team in the West is just so unbeatable that the Warriors just don't have no chance and just no shot at beating them? There's no team, bro. You mean to tell me if the Warriors are healthy and playing their best basketball, they can't beat Phoenix? They can't beat Dallas? They can't beat the Pelicans? You know, they can't beat the Lakers? They can't beat Denver? You know, they can't beat, you know, Portland? They can't beat Sacramento? You know, they can't beat, you know, the Clippers? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it. The Warriors have just as much of a chance as anybody else. And the crazy thing about it is, I already know how this shit gonna go. Like, the whole year, everybody else is getting talked about. All these other teams. Once March and April come around, they're gonna be talking about the Golden State Warriors, because the Golden State Warriors is gonna show that, okay, it's time to get locked in now. We locked in. And then motherfuckers gonna be, oh man, we should have known all this time and this and that and blah, 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 blah. Man, the Warriors are still the same. They just won a championship. I understand they lost You ain't finna sit up there and tell me, yes, Otto Porter, he was big. Alicia, he had some good moments, and he had one or two good moments in the postseason. But I think the fact that his absence now, along with Otto Porter and GP2 being gone, and how the team is playing this year, is like they giving Alicia a little more credit than what he deserved now, because you know what I mean. Because the team it don't look like it's doing as well as it did last year. So then when you look back at the players that ain't here, you say, oh, well, they should have, man, if they would have kept woody woo woo woo. Okay, but you guys is overrating those guys just a tad bit. You know what I'm saying? It's about Steph, Clay, and Dre. And now you got Poole up in there and Wiggins. Okay. Wiggins. You know what I mean? It's about him as well. And then Looney doing his thing. You know what I mean? But really, Steph, Clay, Dre, and Wiggins. That's really, really what it's about. And then you add Poole in there as that fifth. You know what I mean? And then Looney would be six. But those first five, that's really what it's about. You know what I'm saying? That's really what I would say those first six. You know what I mean? Because what Looney do down there, down low, and all that dirty work, you know what I mean? So I'll say those first six, that's what it's about. Everything else is what is interchangeable. You know what I'm saying? So DiVincenzo, you can see over the past month, he's figuring it out. He's playing much better in December than he was playing in November. You know what I mean? Like he ready now. You know what I'm saying? And he's just gonna keep getting better within the system. You know what I mean? But DiVincenzo, you know what I mean, is doing his thing. Kuminga is coming along. I still would want him to, because he just he think the only thing he can do is just score all the day. I mean, he's playing better defense though. He's playing better defense, and he is starting to lock in on defense. But it's like when they on offense, I mean, this man he do not pass the ball. You know what I'm saying? If you give that man the ball and he up there, man, hey, he trying to take that damn thing to the lane. Maybe a step on the court, you know what I mean, or something like that. But you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, Kuminga. Wiseman is going to make an impact. I'm telling y'all right now. Wiseman is going to make an impact down the stretch this year at some point. I'm telling you right now, it's going to happen. It's just going to happen. And that's going to catapult him for the rest of his career. JaMychal Green, he's the one that's kind of like, sometimes he do good, sometimes he don't, but you know what I mean? Like, he's kind of falls in and out of the rotation. You know what I mean? He always gonna have somewhat of a spot in it just because he's more of a veteran player. But you know what I mean? Sometimes he plays like the young players. You know what I'm saying? Like a Moody or something, like somebody that, so. But yeah, nah, man, they solid. You know what I mean? With Steph, Clay, Wiggins, Draymond, Looney, DiVincenzo, Poole, Kuminga, Wiseman. I'm not a big fan of Ty Jerome, but he played extremely well yesterday against Memphis. He played well. I can't even front. If he play like that, I know he ain't gonna play like that all the time. But if he can muster that shit up, you know what I mean, on most nights, yeah, he'll get up. He'll end up getting on my good side. You know what I'm saying? Moody, Jermichael Green. So, and then when Iggy come back, like, we got enough, bro. We got enough. We got enough. So, but yeah, like, what team, in the West, Denver, what team can we not beat? I just don't get it. So when I be hearing these motherfuckers talking about, I don't think the Warriors gonna be there in the end. Why? So you believe in the fucking Denver Nuggets or the Phoenix Suns or some shit more than you believe in the Warriors? Why would that be the case? Unless you just don't like the team. If you going off just logical shit, you know what I mean, and logical thinking, your logic should tell you your money should be on a team like the Warriors. They're proven. They're proven, my nigga. Now, so, you got Denver Nuggets, Memphis Grizzlies, New Orleans Pelicans, Phoenix Suns, LA Clippers, Sacramento Kings, Utah Jazz, Dallas Mavericks, Minnesota Timberwolves, Portland Trail Blazers, Lakers, OKC, Spurs, Rockets. Why couldn't the Warriors beat any of those teams? Like, it just don't make no sense to me, And then in the East, yeah, Boston and Milwaukee are the two teams that, for me as a Golden State Warriors fan, Boston and Milwaukee are the only two teams I'm looking at as realistically having an opportunity of beating the Warriors in the NBA Finals. Cleveland don't have enough. Brooklyn don't have enough. I don't give a damn. They don't. When it comes down to a 7-game series, we would beat the Brooklyn Nets in at least no more than 6 games. It might be 5, but I give them 6. Philadelphia, they don't have enough. They're not good enough. The Knicks, fuck out of here. Atlanta, fuck out of here. Indiana, fuck out of here. I don't give a damn about them regular season games. Miami, they not the same like that. You know what I'm saying? Toronto and so in the East, it's the Celtics and the Bucks. That's it. Even though the Eastern Conference is a much improved conference, I would say that and agree with that. The Western Conference is still overall the deeper conference. You know what I'm saying? In the East, like I said, Bucks, Milwaukee, and just as a third, out of respect for KD and Kyrie, I'll say the Brooklyn Nets, and I would kind of say Philadelphia. I just don't believe in them like that. You know what I'm saying? But now there are more good teams, but I'm saying realistically, who I think can really come out the East, man, is either Boston or the Boston Celtics or the Milwaukee Bucks. Cleveland is a good team. They can't beat Milwaukee or Boston. The Nets are a good team. They can't beat Milwaukee or Boston. The Sixers are a good team. They can't beat Milwaukee or Boston. So those are 5 good teams. The Knicks, I think, are an okay team. You know what I'm saying? But realistically, winning it and coming out the East is Boston or Milwaukee. So That's that. And then, but in the West, if you look at it more, it's more deeper. Like with Memphis, New Orleans is really a good team this year. Okay, Phoenix, we all know what they can do. Clippers, we know who they got. Denver, they got the 2-time reigning MVP. The Warriors, they're the defending champions. You know what I mean? The Mavericks, you know, they don't quite have enough, you know, probably, but you know, they got Luka and you got him, you know. But realistically, yeah, I believe the Warriors are the best team. Like I said, if they are the healthiest, or not if they're healthiest, but if they go into the, you know, if they're relatively healthy and playing their best, playing how up to their capabilities, I believe they're the best team in the West. But I believe in the West there are more teams that have the opportunity of realistically coming out of the West than in the East. Like in the Western Conference, I can see Golden State obviously coming out the West. I can see Memphis coming out the West. I can see Phoenix coming out the West. I can see the Clippers coming out the West. I can see Denver coming out the West. And I can see the Pelicans coming out the West with how they've been playing this year. You know what I mean? And, so, you know, I don't see the Lakers coming out the West, but it's still kind of one of them things like having LeBron James and Anthony Davis. But Anthony Davis, you can't rely on him, man. You don't know when he's going to get hurt. You just know he is going to get hurt. You just hope it's not at a time where, you know, we really need him, like the postseason. You know what I mean? But he going to get hurt 2 or 3 times a year. You know what I mean? One of the times is going to keep him out, you know, a month to a month and a half. You know, then he going to come back. Another time he might be out for a week or 2. And then another time he'll be out for game. And then he going to miss little games. He going to, come on, man. Anthony Davis, he just fragile, bro. Some niggas is built like that. Not to be, you know, mean to him or, you know what I mean, not trying to even diss him. It's just fragile. It's just what it is. That whatever that injury was with his foot, the one that got him out right now for a month or whatever, I don't know what the fuck happened there. I seen the replay. I seen the shit. I mean, I just don't know what happened. It don't look like nothing happened. The nigga just jumped, came down, and then just something was wrong with his fucking ankle, his leg and shit. And now he out for 4 to 6 weeks. And it's like, huh? What happened? It wasn't like he rolled it or came. It wasn't none of that. He just came down and, hey, my shit fucked up. So, but if not for that, I would still want to give the Lakers some form of respect. You know what I mean? Just because they do have LeBron James, they do have AD. And say what you want about Russell Westbrook, he is a future Hall of Famer. So they do have Russell Westbrook. But yeah, they just not a good team, bro. They just not. You know what I mean? But yeah. But that's, you know, that's you know, I'm saying they talk as if it's some juggernaut team that out there that the Warriors like have absolutely no shot of beating. And I'm like, what team is that? You know what I'm saying? Do tell. Because if any team is the juggernaut team that can't be beat, it's us. It's the Warriors. So, yeah, I'd be scratching my head on that one. You know. Yeah, I'll be scratching my head. Yeah, because it'd be a motherfucking head and scratch it.
Until yesterday, right? He's been that anchor on the defensive side. He's been attacking the paint even more. Dillon Brooks has been non-existent, okay, since last postseason. I don't know what's going on with him, but I do think that the Memphis Grizzlies could go to the highest level without even having him or him playing horrible. You know why? I would rely more on Tyus Jones. I love the combination of Tyus Jones and John Morant in the backcourt together. Also, Desmond Bain averaging a career high right now, 23 points a night. He's going to get his rhythm back. Danny Green, right? Coming off of ACL surgery, that veteran leader that you're going to have in the locker room. I believe once he returns to the court, he's going to give them something for his ability to
for his
IQ and his championship pedigree. And we already know John Morant, when it comes to matching star and superstar power on the floor night in and night out, he's going to do that. And I'm going to say this to you, JJ, and leave you with this.
Say it.
Home court advantage is going to matter. And this team is one game, I believe, from having the best record in the Western Conference. It is hard as hell to beat this young team.
Listen, I'm going to tell you this. Yes, home court advantage is going to matter, but not to the Golden State Warriors. It's just not. It's just not. And I know motherfuckers say, oh, well, look at their record on the road. Like there are two different teams on the road than they are at home. Bro, the regular season is not the postseason. It's going to be different. You're not going to sit here and tell me that the Warriors didn't won. Now, that the Warriors didn't won all these series in a row when Steph, Clay, and Dre is there, all the games. And in each of those series, they've won at least one road game. And but you ain't gonna tell me all of a sudden it's gonna stop now. Now, if it do stop, okay, then you know what I mean. If they don't get at least one road game in each series or whatever, then yeah, there's a probability that they could lose. You know, and they don't have home court advantage, and there's a possibility that they could lose. You know, that series. Everything comes to an end. I'm not guaranteeing no championships this year. You know what I mean? Or none of that. You know what I mean? I'm not, you know, and I know don't let it last forever. You know what I mean? But thus far, when Steph, Clay, and Dre is all on the court for all games of a postseason series, they have never lost. Never lost. So I'm banking on that continuing. You know what I mean? This year. So motherfuckers say, well, the Warriors, look at the Warriors' record on the road right now, and it isn't good, right? And that's true, but it's different in the postseason, bro. It's just different. Yeah, they don't got to win every game on the road. All they got to do is win one and make sure they win all their home games. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't give a damn about what they away record is in the regular season. Once you get to the postseason, they gonna know how to, you know, get a win on the road. You know what I mean? And they just gonna be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? Why would I think they wouldn't be able to do that? You know what I mean? So yeah, and I believe that they're gonna start playing better on the road in this regular season right here. It's still early. You niggas is acting like it's like 3/4 of the season has been played when only 1/3 of the season has been played. You know what I'm saying? So
when they go down to Memphis to the dark. All right, so when we all know in the postseason, role players play better at home. I think this team will be ready. I think this actually was a great thing for them because you know why? This humbled them enough to say, you know what? Let's get back in the lab and let's get back to the meeting.
Bullshit. This ain't humbled them. Nigga, if they didn't get humbled by going home last year in the second round by this same team, this fucking one loss in a regular season supposed to humble them? That ain't finna humble them. You full of shit, nigga. This is a bunch of little yapping, talking ass little bitches. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, just they want all the attention on them. You know what I mean? And they hating on the niggas that's really doing all the winning. You know what I mean? Instead of going out there and just winning some shit like us, they want to talk their way to the top. You can't talk your way to the top. You gotta do, brother. You know what I'm saying? So no, this ain't humbled them. I disagree with that. Kendrick Perkins, okay? He's a damn lie. Talking about this humbled them. This ain't humbled shit, nigga. And that's okay. That's okay if it ain't humbled them. You know what I mean? It'd make it even more better when they get bopped on top of the head in the playoffs. Motherfuckers almost lost to Minnesota. last year. If Minnesota was more poised and had a little bit more veteran leadership, they should have beat Memphis in round 1 last year. We should have been playing the Minnesota Timberwolves in the second round. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it is what it is. So, yeah, Memphis, y'all got to worry about other motherfuckers for y'all even worry about us. That'd be the problem, man. Like, beat somebody else before you. Who they beat? Like I said, that's all y'all did. All y'all did was beat the who in y'all era of this version of the Memphis Grizzlies. All y'all got is y'all have beaten the Minnesota Timberwolves in the playoffs one time, barely beat them. You know what I'm saying? That's all y'all got. You know what I mean? So, fuck out of here, man. You ain't even made it to the Western Conference Finals, let alone the NBA Finals.
You know, you kind of lead me into this point that I wanted to make about the parity in the NBA right now, because you brought up home court advantage, and the Memphis Grizzlies need to create some separation from the rest of the Western Conference. There's 8 teams right now with 12 or fewer losses. That means there's 7 teams within 2 games of the best record in the NBA. There's 5 teams right now that made the playoffs last year, including the conference finals Miami Heat, including the world champion Golden State Warriors, with records under 500. So how are these teams going to be able to create separation? That's my biggest question mark. When it comes to the Memphis Grizzlies, Desmond Bane has to be the second star, which I think he's more than capable of. And Dylan Brooks and Jaren Jackson Jr. have to stay on the floor and stay out of foul trouble.
Yeah, and then look, let's also realize this. And I understand they didn't, the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, look, and I understand, you know, let's also look at
the
this.
Golden State Warriors this season are a championship caliber team at home, and they're a lottery team on the road. And I think after them getting smacked in Brooklyn and with the Knicks, I think Steve Kerr actually did a hell of a job with his game plan and having them ready to go out there and perform last night. And here's another thing, and this is not an excuse. And JJ, you know this. When it's your first Christmas Day game, if you're not mentally ready for this, it's a lot that comes into Christmas Day games.
It's very similar to a playoff game, Perk. Would you?
Get the fuck out of here with that shit, bro. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. I'm sorry. Now, I understand these are 2 men that have played in the NBA and both have played on Christmas Day. So they would know more than me. I don't know shit. But I don't need to know shit and play in the NBA to know that all you doing is giving a motherfucker excuse, nigga. Because Steph Curry has played on Christmas Day a lot. And he don't usually play well on Christmas Day for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to tell me it's because of the lights and the spotlight and all that shit, now get the fuck out of here, nigga. Steph Curry is a fucking megastar. He lived for the lights and the spotlight for whatever reason. He just, for the majority of the games that he's played on Christmas Day, he hasn't played well, you know. But it ain't because the lights is too bright and all that other shit. That's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You can't have 4 fucking championships and be scared of the bright light. That don't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying my point is, you know, to say that if you play bad, I don't think it had nothing to do with Christmas Day. The reason why Steph Curry hadn't played well on most of his games, I just think it's just a coincidence that particular game he didn't have a good game. It just is what it is, man. You know what I mean? So to sit up there and say, oh, well, the Memphis Grizzlies, you know, they lost because, you know, they wasn't, you know, it's Christmas Day. This is their first Christmas Day game. So, you know, if you know, they may not have been ready for that, you know, for that moment. Get the fuck out of here. Well, stop talking so much then. How the hell are you talking so damn much and running your mouth talking about you ain't worried about nobody in the West and you can't even beat the team without their damn best player? You know what I'm saying? You take away that's like taking away LeBron or something from the Lakers and then you still losing. Taking away Jokic from the Nuggets and then you still lost. Taking away Ja Morant from the Grizzlies and the team still lost. You know, I mean, it's just like, come on, man. So if you ain't ready for the Christmas Day game, stop running your big ass mouth so damn much. So that's what all I would say to Kendrick Perkins. I don't give a damn about you ain't ready. The game got to be played. It don't matter because it's Christmas or if it's motherfucking February fucking 4th, bitch. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. So, yeah. Yeah, these niggas just be making excuses, man. Making excuses. They wasn't ready, man. It was Christmas Day. This their first one, man. They, fuck out of here with that shit, man. They got bopped over the head, man. We didn't have Steph Curry. Ain't no fucking excuse, nigga.
Agree with me. You played on Christmas a bunch. It's a very similar feel to a playoff game.
And I don't think the Memphis Grizzlies realize that dealing with, family and dealing with other things that's going on and then having to keep that focus. See, they have their veteran leaders.
What family did they have to deal with? See, you just talking. You just running your fucking mouth. They was on the road, my nigga. They was on the road. They didn't have to deal with no fucking family. Now no motherfucker said, well, he talking about because it was Christmas Day. And he may, they may still have to still make phone calls and talk to people on Christmas. Man, listen, that's on them. Do whatever you need to do to get you ready to play the game. Okay? You can do all that after the game if you on the road and making phone calls all across the country or whatever to all your family members on Christmas Day, you got to play a Christmas Day game. If that's going to, have you unfocused and hinder you from being focused in your game, well, don't do that shit before the game. You got to let other motherfuckers know, listen, I'm working, okay? I will contact all y'all after the game and talk to y'all and, all that. But before the game, I can't. It's going to throw me off. So that ain't no motherfucking excuse. You know what I mean? It'll be more of an excuse. It still wouldn't be. But it would be more of an excuse if the game was in Memphis. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Where all of these players live at. You know what I'm saying? And they got their families there and stuff like that. And it's Christmas Day, so everybody's family want to come to the game. So they got to arrange for, whatever, tickets or, whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? It would be more of an excuse then. But even then, it still wouldn't be an excuse. You got a game to play. So it just, hey, I know a lot of people like, nigga, Kobe. Hey, Kobe not giving a fuck, nigga. I don't give a damn what day it is, my nigga. I still got to play this game. So Easter, Christmas Day, Thanksgiving, nigga, Halloween, Father's Day, Mother's Day, whatever, all that shit can come after the game. I'm trying to win the game. So, hey, if I can fuck with you before the game, I will. If not, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to win. And that's how you got to be. You got to be driven like that. Ain't no excuses, bro. Ain't no excuses. You know what I mean? They dealing with family and all this other stuff. This is an excuse-making bitch right here. Kendrick Perkins.
In the Golden State locker room, they didn't been through these Christmas Day games, and they just smacked them in the mouth. But I'm not concerned about Memphis. They got Ja Morant.
All right, I believe you guys are leaving us, correct?
You not concerned about Memphis. They got Ja Morant. But the Warriors got Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Draymond Green. Yeah. 4 championship rings, but yeah. Believe in who you want to believe in, motherfucker. These niggas is bum ass niggas. Let me do this one real quick, man, and then I'm gonna get off this, man. Cause Ja Morant, like I said, you talked all that shit. If you gonna talk it, man, you got to be willing to back it up, man. I'm talking about, yeah. And your ass ain't back it up, bitch.
I was down to talk to my doctor.
You didn't back it up.
Ask your healthcare provider about
You lost, bitch. You took a L. But you ain't worried, though. You good in the West. I haven't seen this yet.
The Grizzlies lost to the Warriors 123-109 yesterday. Golden State, though, no Steph Curry. This is just several days after John Morant said there was no team, zero team in the West that Memphis fears. Shannon, how embarrassed should John be about those comments now?
They should be very embarrassed because they do all that talking and don't do a whole lot of winning. Like I said, if Steph Curry had said this, I ain't got no problem with it. Yeah. That man's a 4-time champion, a league MVP, a finals MVP, and one of the greatest players I've ever played. If he wants to say, hey, bro, I'm good. We great. We beat you out here to win. I'm good with that. Yeah. What has the Grizzlies won? Don't give me this. What's he supposed to say? He's supposed to be respectful of everybody in the Western Conference, considering he hadn't won anything. They keep talking about a dynasty. A dynasty, what banners have you hung? What have I seen up there? Well, I mean, I don't see the Warriors can say, we are a dynasty. We won 4 championships in 6 years. That's a dynasty. Yeah. Well, you want to say the Celtics or the Lakers and when they were Magic in the 80s, that was a dynasty. Yeah. You ain't no damn dynasty because you made the playoffs. And they keep talking about, oh, we this, we that, oh, we got... I'm like Draymond. Draymond said, I think the word rivalry is thrown around too loosely these days. The rivalry is the Lakers-Celtics. The rivalry is us Cavs. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. We're competing. That's a rivalry. Ooh, what's the rivalry between the Grizzlies and the Warriors? One team got 4 championships in 6 years. The other team said, we did knock y'all out the playoff. They played the tournament. What is that? Nothing. So all this, oh, we this, we that, until y'all advance, until y'all get some banners, ain't nobody taking y'all serious. They just like some young dudes just over there chirping.
That is true. They did give the Warriors all they wanted last year in the play.
All that man did right there was just speak the gospel. Just the truth. The absolute truth. You know? Like all you niggas do is you just, what have you done, man? What have you won to be talking like this? You know what I'm saying? Like, even if Steph Curry was there and you lose, you know, you still look stupid because you're doing all this talking and you didn't back it up. You took an L. But Steph Curry ain't even there. And Andrew Wiggins ain't there. The best 2 players on the team ain't there, and you still lose. And you talk about you ain't worried about nobody in the West. Man, that shit wow. I'm gonna run that back real quick. You know what I mean? Just to kind of read, you know, because I knew Shannon was gonna say that. You know what I mean? Just to kind of re-emphasize what he said, just to internalize it. I'm looking at one comment right now as I was getting ready to play this. They said the Memphis Grizzlies have no excuse losing to the Golden State Warriors without Steph Curry and Andrew Wiggins. Just point blank, simple. I mean, that's just period. There's nothing else that need to be said. Dubs didn't even have Andrew, not to mention Steph. Ja did his thing, but it's way too soon to say the Grizz are quote unquote fine in the West if they can't beat the Dubs, missing their 2 best players. I mean, anybody with one half a fucking brain, you know what I'm saying, and one eye can see that. You know what I'm saying? You niggas is some damn fools.
About those comments now.
They should be very embarrassed because they do all that talking and don't do a whole lot of winning. Like I said, if Steph Curry has said this, I ain't got no problem with it. Yeah. That man's a 4-time champion, a league MVP, a finals MVP, and one of the greatest players I've ever played. If he wants to say, hey, bro, I'm good. We great. We beat you out here to win. I'm good with that. Yeah. What has the Grizzlies won? Don't give me this. What's he supposed to say? He's supposed to be respectful of everybody in the Western Conference, considering he hadn't won anything.
And that's just period what it is. You know what I mean? Because they try to, and that's what they try to do. They try to get you on the, well, he supposed to say that. He ain't put, no. It's the way you say it, though. That's like I said, when Draymond said what he said pregame a few weeks ago, you know what I mean, against the Celtics, the way he said his was more respectful, even as a winner. You know what I'm saying? Because he know what it takes to win. He not just out here just bloviate, just running his fucking mouth just because he wants somebody to, just some attention-seeking ass comments and shit. You know what I'm saying? His shit was more respectful. He said, listen, we have a healthy fear of the Phoenix Suns. Like, he don't even look at he more would consider the Phoenix Suns, a team like that, more of a threat than the Memphis Grizzlies. I probably would agree. You know what I'm saying? Just because they've done a little bit more, and they're a little bit more well-rounded and a little bit more of a veteran team mixed in with some young players as well. You know what I'm saying? So Draymond Green, said we have a healthy fear of them. Meaning, listen, we know if we don't bring our A game against a team like the Phoenix Suns, they will beat us. But on the flip side, what he's saying is, vice versa, if we play Golden State Warriors basketball, how we know that we are supposed to play, you know what I'm saying? Not only can the Phoenix Suns not beat us, but no team can beat us. You know what I mean? Definitely no team in the West. That's, to me, it is basically saying the same thing Josh said, but to me, it's saying it in a more respectable way. You know what I mean? It ain't just saying, nah, we good in the West. We good. We ain't worried about nobody. Fuck all them niggas. Them niggas ain't got shit. Them niggas ain't doing nothing to us. You know what I mean? That's what Josh said. Draymond was more, like, hey, we know these teams out here is good. You know what I mean? And if we don't bring our A game, they can beat us. But if we bring our A game, we should win. Like, Draymond gave the acknowledgement that we're not invincible. You know what I mean? If we don't play how we supposed to play, we invincible. I mean, we not invincible. We can be beat. Ja Morant gave the notion of we good. It's not, nobody can do. We good. We is invincible. They can't do shit to us. You know what I mean? And that's disrespectful. You know what I mean? And you're not gonna win like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? You just I don't believe in, I don't believe in basketball gods and none of that shit, sports gods and, football gods and all that. But I do believe in I do believe, obviously there's a energy, a form of energy that, that you can create, you know what I mean? To a karma type thing, so to speak, that, that can come back to you from what you give out. And I just don't think that the energy, you know what I mean, will be rewarded. You know what I mean? The energy that's going to be rewarded is going out to go work for it and then, doing a little talking after you done that. You know what I'm saying? The Warriors didn't come out here before they won their first championship doing all this damn talking. Okay? And they was going up against somebody. A mammoth in LeBron James. Okay? They had to beat LeBron James to get they rings, my nigga. So don't come talking to me about nothing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, don't come talk to me about no damn Memphis Grizzlies.
They keep talking about a dynasty. A dynasty, what banners have you hung? What have I seen up there? Well, I mean, I don't see the Warriors can say we are a dynasty.
And it's like, why would Dylan Brooks, why would he even say that last year? Why would he even bring up that word, dynasty? You know what I mean? It's like, is he delusional? Or, you know what I mean, are they just so like, do they really like, you know what I mean? Because why would you even say dynasty and you ain't even been to a finals yet? You shouldn't even be talking about a dynasty after one championship. That's just one. You the champion that year. You are accomplished. Can't nobody ever take that from you. But a dynasty means multiple in a short period of time. You know what I mean? You got to prove you can do that. Then you that type of team. You know what I mean? Because a lot of teams win it and, come back too cocky and everybody want some money now and this and that. So it's not, the focus is different. You know what I mean? Because you feel like you him because you won it. Now you is him because you won it that one time, but can you become all-time him by winning multiple? You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's all about. So, but even just winning one, that's an accomplishment. You don't want to take nothing away from nobody. But I don't want to say anybody can just win one because there's a lot of great players across all sports that ain't won one. But I would say it's much harder to win multiple than win one. You know what I mean? That's all I will say. You got to really be super great to win multiple championships and shit. You know what I'm saying?
We won 4 championships in 6 years. That's a dynasty.
Yeah.
If you want to say the Celtics or the Lakers and when they were Magic in the 80s, that was a dynasty. You ain't no damn dynasty because you made the playoffs. And they keep talking about, oh, we this, we that, oh, we got... I'm like Draymond. Draymond said, I think the word rivalry is thrown around too loosely these days. A rivalry is the Lakers Celtics. A rivalry is us Cavs. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. We're competing. That's a rivalry. Ooh, what's the rivalry between the Grizzlies and the Warriors? One team got 4 championships in 6 years. The other team said, we did knock y'all out the playoff. They played the tournament. What is that? Nothing. So all this, oh, we this, we that. Until y'all advance, until y'all get some banners, ain't nobody taking y'all serious. They just like some young dudes just over there chirping.
That is true. They did give the Warriors all they wanted last year in that 6-game playoff round.
But you can't skip. You can't lose to them without Steph and without Wiggins last night by 14.
I agree. I'm not going to make too much of last night because the starters for the Memphis Grizzlies shot 4 of 25 from 3, while in total, Golden State made 18 of 44. They just got shot out of the gym from 3 without the greatest three-point shooter.
Exactly.
Okay. And I also want to make the point, this is almost inexplicable. It is inexplicable. You realize the Warriors have the best home record in the NBA and the worst road record.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard. Have you ever heard of that? Because I've never heard of that before.
Well, that's why they 16 to 18.
Okay, there you go.
Next time you drive to work, don't miss the
And see,
secret dollar signs.
That's the
Every
thing.
day
The
you
thing
look-
I don't like is saying I'm not going to put too much stock into this or this and that and blah 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 blah. Yeah, it's because you don't really like the Warriors and you more on the Memphis Grizzlies side. That's why you saying that. I hate when these motherfuckers can't just call it right down the middle, man. Skip Bayless and hated on the Steph Curry and the Warriors so much, man. You know what I'm saying? And saying he unclutch and he ain't this and all because he trying to prop up Kevin Durant. You know what I mean? Because he's swinging on Kevin Durant's nuts. You know what I'm saying? You know, and you know, so I'm not going to put a big deal into this because and then gonna give a dumbass excuse like, well, they just shot him out they just shot him out the gym. That's the objective of the game, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You ain't never heard the motherfucking quote, the motherfucking saying, it's a make or miss league. If I make more shots than you, most likely I'm gonna win, bitch. That's the name of the game. So what type of, well, they just outshot him. Like there's something wrong with that. Like I just don't get it. Like these motherfuckers be on national TV, get paid millions of dollars to make dumbass statements like that. I just don't get it.
He is losing me this year. I was bullish on the Grizz last year, if you recall. I was riding that band. I was driving the bandwagon.
See, I just told you that. That's the reason why he's saying that shit. I was bullish on the Grizzlies last year. I was riding that bandwagon. And I was riding that dick so hard. You know what I'm saying?
They are losing me because swagger, to your point, is one thing, but just empty boasting and chest beating is quite another. I like their swagger, but you got to tie it to some basketball character. You can't go over the delusional edge into thinking you're something that you haven't earned yet because you haven't earned a thing yet. Nope. And Ja doesn't seem to realize that because he seems to be a little bit of a victim of social media, and they launched a sneaker last night.
Yeah, and I look at sneaker.
Okay, fine. I give you all the above. You have earned nothing, and worse, Ja's not proven he can stay healthy because he's a high flyer who comes down hard on those knees, and doesn't it seem like every year he's gone for a while with a bum knee?
Well, how about clutch time, Skip, this season?
Yeah.
Last 5 minutes, game within 5 points. Ja is 0 of 5 from 3, 0%. That's worse than the league.
Right.
He's 11 of 29 from the floor, 38%. And he's 14 of 22 from the free throw line, 64%.
All right.
So while he's not worried about it, you need to be worried.
Okay. You remember game 1 at Memphis last year against Golden State?
Yeah.
Remember he got the ball in his hand, drives down the lane, and Clay comes off his guy and contests the shot, and he missed it.
Yeah.
He shot it completely over the rim.
You better be worried about it because the Nuggets, I don't know if anybody watched that guy from the Nuggets last night, but he really, really good.
Hey, I watched the Clippers at Sixers on Friday night. The Clippers are really good. If their two guys are healthy, you got problems.
Yeah.
They're going to have problems with everybody.
And that's my thing right there. You know, obviously this episode is more dedicated to, you know, Memphis versus the Warriors because they just got through playing last night, you know, on Christmas Day. And I feel like Ja Morant's comments in response to what Draymond Green is a response to what Draymond Green said, you know what I mean? And even though he didn't say that he ain't worried about the Warriors, I believe that's who he was, you know, really who he was directing these comments towards. You know what I'm saying? But and while
I'm sorry, I didn't even know what you're talking about. Now he's drunk on Friday night. The Clippers are really
but yeah, that's what I was saying. But so it's, you know, this episode is more geared towards, you know, Grizzlies and Warriors. But just like he just said, yeah, I'm not even. It's not even just the Warriors I'm talking about. Well, you talking about you ain't worried about nobody in the West. It's not just the Warriors that you gonna have to worry about. Like they just said, that boy Jokic, yeah, that boy's serious. Yeah, slow-footed, can't jump, unathletic and all. Yeah, that boy kicking some ass. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the white boy get ill, man. Okay, so Jokic and the Nuggets, Memphis. I mean, New Orleans. Come on, man. Zion Williamson is on. He's on. You know, he's on a mission. Okay, you know what I mean. They got Alvarado, feisty. You know what I mean. They got the other boy over there that they got from Portland. Okay, y'all know who I'm talking about. Forget his name right now, but y'all know who I'm talking about. And then Brandon Ingram. You know, he been hurt, but he gonna be back. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? He kind of got a little KD style game a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But Memphis is serious. I mean, New Orleans is serious. Okay. And I do believe that Memphis is a better team than Dallas, but Luka is another one. The white boy ill, man. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, I don't know what they doing over there in Europe. Got these motherfuckers unathletic, can't jump, can't run, nothing. But I'm talking about be dropping 50, 15, and 10 every night. You know what I mean? Busting ass, man. You know what I mean? Getting straight buckets. So, yeah. You know, Dallas, you know what I mean? Like I said, I believe Memphis is better than Dallas, but you know what I mean? You still got to, hey, when you got a firecracker like Luka, you never know. Phoenix, come on, man. What is we talking about? You know what I mean? The Memphis Grizzlies just gonna plow through Phoenix like that? You know what I'm saying? So, nah. They got the Warriors to worry about. They got Phoenix to worry about. They got the Clippers to worry about. Okay? They got the Nuggets to worry about. They got the Pelicans to worry about. That's 5 teams right there. Okay? So, yeah. All this, I'm not worried. We good in the West. Come on, man. That's how, see, to me, that's the proof. That because when he said that, he wasn't even fully thinking. He was so quick to just try to say something to respond to what Draymond said that, you know what I mean, he just thinking about the Warriors. That he wasn't even thinking about all the other teams in the West because his brain and mind was so focused on responding to Draymond because Draymond said he basically ain't worried about nobody in the West, but said it in a more respectful way. You know what I mean? And he took disrespect to that. I mean, he took you know, he took some he took an issue with that. You know what I mean? And he that was his time to respond to that. You know what I mean? Subliminally. You know. that he just did that. That's like one of them things to where when you get so emotional that you saying something, trying to diss somebody, but in dissing that one somebody, you kind of diss others unintentionally as well. You know what I'm saying? But you wasn't really trying to do that. But you were so emotional that that's what you ended up doing, all because you so focused on this one motherfucker. You know what I mean? That you said something. That's basically what that was. You know what I mean? And that's how you know. You know what I mean? He wasn't thinking, and he was emotional, and you know what I mean? He in his feelings about what Draymond said. The fact that Draymond, he feels disrespected because he feels like Draymond ain't giving him and the Grizzlies the respect that they deserve. You deserve no respect. I'm not saying you don't deserve respect, like to not respect your opponent. I'm saying you don't deserve the eye of the Warriors, like as far as we need to really like be, you know what I mean? Because they think that they can beat y'all. You know what I'm saying? So because y'all are young and immature, man, and y'all not learning, you know what I mean, from y'all still just playing off excitement and highlights and this and that, but you know what I mean? Is y'all really learning really how to win? You know what I mean? If Memphis don't make a long run this year, you never know. That coach maybe it might be a coach that might need to get that coach up out of there and get somebody in there that can instill some discipline in them little niggas and get them to really focus on what they need to be focusing on, and instead of like what Skip said, all this internet, Instagram highlights and all that other shit. You know.
Their two guys are healthy. You got problems.
Yeah.
They're going to have problems with everybody.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I didn't even know what you're talking about. Now he's drawn a bigger and bigger target on his back because he's going to hear about this the rest of the year.
Exactly.
Clay Thompson was out of his mind last night.
They got like 6 or 7 texts.
Yeah, I know.
Draymond looking at him like,
He was.
are you not worried now? Don't worry about the Celtics. Celtics doing their thing over there, look good. Jason Tatum is right now. He and Nikola Jokic
Yeah.
for the MVP.
Do not rule out Embiid. Do not rule him out.
He coming. He coming. But
Yeah,
JT's been off the charts.
Okay.
So the Lakers had a 10-point lead at halftime
So-
over the Mavericks.
So yeah, man, you know, it's just one of them things, bro, to where Ja, you know, he hard-headed. He the kid that just he keep getting his butt spanked, you know what I mean? But he I'm not saying he don't got heart, but sometimes it's too like Skip said, you can't go into delusion, brother. You know what I mean? To where you just talking just to talk now. You know what I'm saying? Like and motherfuckers can see that and see through that. That now you just talking. You don't even believe what you're saying. You just feel like you gotta have this fake bravado and talk crazy. You know what I mean? To give off the appearance that that you're not scared or whatever. We're not saying you're scared, but the more you start, you know, the more you go into delusion, you know what I mean? That makes motherfuckers feel like, you really, you know, it makes motherfuckers feel like you really the opposite of what you're trying to portray. Like you trying to portray like you know, with the shits and you strong and you tough and you ain't backing down, but doing all that talking make it seem like, you know what I mean, that's all you trying to disguise from the fact that you is scared. You know what I'm saying? Like you trying to pump yourself up. So that's pretty much it, man. You know, I just wanted to address that on Snax on Sports, Ja Morant. And, you know, the Memphis Grizzlies as a whole, you know, Dylan Brooks, he be running his mouth. Jaren Jackson be running his mouth sometime. You know, last year the coach, you know what I mean, in the playoffs, he was running his mouth at times. You know, so, you know, they got some mouth runners over there. And it's all good. It's all in good, you know, sports, you know, fun, you know what I mean, and all that. But yeah, we out here to bop niggas on the head and show niggas that, listen, stop playing with the Warriors, man. Okay? We still the champs, my nigga. We still the champs. Fuck the record. We the champs until dethroned. We ain't been dethroned yet. Last I checked, we got a game tomorrow. Tomorrow night. And we got another one after that, and after that, and after that, and another damn near 50. Okay? So you gonna have to eliminate us. Yeah. So yeah. This nigga talking about Kendrick Perkins talking about it humbled him. It ain't humbled him. You know what I mean? Hopefully it did humble him though. You know what I mean? Now that might be more the scary thing. If these niggas do, they don't understand. If they was to get humble and become and still be, you know, brash and have that swag, but be more respectful, you know what I mean? And a little bit more and show a little more humility within that swag, you know what I'm saying? That's when they become scary. You know what I mean? Because then it's like, okay, they know they good. You know what I mean? And they got a healthy respect for their opponent. Because when you don't respect your opponent, it's like you underestimate them. That's how you lose. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't prepare as much as you should. Because you taking them for granted. You know what I mean? You underestimate them. So, yeah, it's just one of them things. But they ain't learn. They gonna keep talking. And you know, we're gonna have to bat them niggas in the mouth again. But they might get batted in the mouth by somebody else before they even get to us in the playoffs. You know what I mean? That, you know, that's how the shit be going. That's how the shit be, you know. Sometimes that's how the cookie crumble. Like that's what happened to Phoenix last year. You know what I mean? 'Cause they do a lot of talking too. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of motherfuckers that be talking that ain't really one shit. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, Phoenix did a little more than Memphis, but I mean, you still ain't won at all. So, what have you really done? But Snax on Sports, I'm out, man. That's a wrap on this one. Ja Morant, stop talking, man. At least stop talking to us. Talk to everybody else, but be respectful when you talking to and about the Golden State Warriors, because you ain't getting the upper hand of this one, brother. Learn your lesson. You know what I'm saying? You always got your daddy out there, boy. He should have taught you to be more respectful to your elders.